Welcome to the Hayes CISD Blended Learning video series. In every blended learning training, we always go back to our why. What are the problems we are trying to solve? What goals do we have to improve our practice? We know that a shift to student-centered blended learning can help us address district-wide core problems that impact learning. Let's explore how teachers across the district are using blended learning and specific strategies to better meet the needs of today's students. As we observe this class in action, reflect on how the pillars of blended learning are realized through the application of specific strategies. You will also observe routines, habits, and structures that teachers employ to develop independent learning skills and support a successful blended model implementation.
Schoology and go to the playlist. It is on Schoology. Log in.
I could have sworn I got it.
Ooh, lucky y'all.
Routines, important in any classroom, are essential for an effective blended learning workflow.
Okay, I know that the timer didn't go off, but I'm looking at many of y'all's screens and y'all are already logged in, so I'm going to get started. So this is going to take a little bit of multitasking so that you can listen to what I'm saying, and then you're going to get started. Okay? First, you guys have a playlist to complete over the next 2 days. There are 7 stations on the playlist. So, if we do not finish tomorrow, we will reevaluate tomorrow if you guys need an additional day or not.
Mrs. Lindsay structures learning this week into 2 distinct modes: independent learning, organized in a digital playlist format, and direct instruction in small groups. Her playlist content is designed for independent learning and allows her to reallocate time to smaller groups of students and increase her capacity to differentiate instruction. Students move between small group with the teacher to self-paced independent learning.
Everybody with me? Okay, I'm gonna go quick. So here we go. Station 1 is to complete the backside of the frame from yesterday. So instead of me sending Desmos out to y'all, you just click here and it'll take you straight to the calculator. Don't close it out because you're gonna need it later on through the other stations. Questions on Station 1? Okay, Station 2's Desmo is Dreambox. Okay? Please only complete the lessons that I assigned to you because that's how you're gonna get my signature.
Here, Mrs. Lindsay reminds the students they must complete their assigned lessons in Dreambox as a part of their independent work. Although Dreambox automatically adapts to student needs, Mrs. Lindsay uses a data-driven instruction loop by monitoring standards mastery reports. She can assign specific standards to students to monitor progress over time and identify gaps in conceptual development. This is a much more intentional use of the software and can have near-term results on grade-level content.
If you go through and you do a lesson that I didn't assign to you, you're going to still have to go back and do the 2 that I assigned. Questions on Dreambox? Okay. Station 3 is another Desmos activity. It's a little biker going on ramps and stuff. It's got a bunch of questions on it. This is self-paced here. Okay. Station 4, 6, and 7. The paper copies are right here. So Station 4, Station 6, and Station 7 is at the bottom. You guys have to turn these in when you're done. Questions on the paper copies? Okay, now, don't get mad at me. Station 7 is a writing task. Oh, Miss Lindsay, this is bad. You don't write. Yes, you do. Okay, writing helps you become better learners. Y'all are 8th graders. There's no reason that you guys can't finish this half sheet of paper. Please do not turn in 2 sentences to me. 8th grade. Got it? Okay, you are comparing and contrasting the 2 scatter plots. When you're finished, you'll turn it in. So if the station has a paper, it needs to get turned in by the end of class. Questions? No. Okay, now everybody look at your half sheet that you picked up on your way in. Okay, what I have noticed is that sometimes when I give you guys a checklist, students check off that they completed the activity when in reality they didn't complete the activity. So now you cannot move on to the next station until you get a teacher's signature.
Through reflective practice, Mrs. Lindsay has identified a problem with student accountability on independent work and has implemented a strategy to complement her playlist. Students mark activities completed on a checklist and confirm with Mrs. Lindsay. This strategy provides a scaffold for students developing several executive functioning skills and increases student agency.
So, first things first, name. Everybody put your name on your paper. Put your names on your paper. Today is 12/7. Okay, and you guys are 7th period. Okay, you will turn this in to me today at the end of class and then I will hand it back to you tomorrow. The activity is the playlist, movement, none needed. Participation, work hard. Okay, the 4 people I need at the teacher table today is Mark, Jesus, Oscar, and Brandon. So if you will grab your Chromebooks and your calculators and come sit down at the white table. Okay, last thing, y'all. When you guys are calling me over to check your stuff, I just want you to know that if I don't see your name on the quizzes, that means you didn't do it. So I will not sign off on it. Okay, same thing with the Desmos activity. If you don't have a dot on each one of these boxes, you didn't finish. So I'm showing you guys that I'm checking so you see what I see to make sure you get your signature. Okay? Are there any questions? Okay, clap once if you understand the expectation of your member of class. Okay. All right. Now you can get started. Jesus, Oscar, Brandon, and Mark. 10 and 5, and then let's use 8 and 4. So these are my 2 ordered pairs, okay? So now the 3 of y'all were here yesterday. You're welcome.
So we're doing the frame from what we did yesterday, which was the y equals mx plus b in Desmos.
Okay, and decimal, so you're using decimal, okay.
So we would usually just write m equals b equals y equals.
Okay.
And we would usually, like, if we're doing a table, we would find 2 perfect points. Same thing with all the graphs as well. And we would take those perfect points and we would type them into here. So 6 and 67.50 for x1 and y1 and 8 and 75 for x2 and y2, and then we would look down here, and then there would be the m and the b, and then you would write both of those. 75.
Okay, so see how I graphed that line for you?
And 45. And since this is a decimal,
You see at the bottom how it says m equals
we
b
have
equals?
to make that into a fraction, so we would do 3.75, and then hit math. And number 1 would be fraction, and click enter, and then enter again, and it will be 15 fourths.
Okay.
So for the y, you would put 15 fourths x plus 45, and then you do that for the rest of these.
Okay.
Click that, and I'm going to choose the table option. Okay, so now in my table, remember, you have x1, y1. What goes into my first set of ordered pairs?
5.
Good, so I would write it like this, 10 and 5. Okay, and then Brandon, how would I write this in the table? Yeah, what number goes here in X? Out of these 2.
To summarize, Mrs. Lindsay used an individual rotation model that features a digital playlist. Students can access this playlist and any other needed resources from the Schoology LMS and have some level of control over their path and pace. The use of a playlist can support multiple pillars of blended learning, including increased personalization, student agency, differentiation of rigor, and increased relevance of the learning process for students. Within her playlist, students engaged in individualized learning paths through Dreambox software, practiced and applied math concepts with online and traditional teacher-assigned content, and tracked their learning pace with a progress tracker. The use of the playlist increased the time Mrs. Lindsay had to spend in small group direct instruction. This allows her to target instruction to specific learning needs based on data and to provide a more personalized learning experience, as well as time to strengthen relationships with students. Small group instruction pushes students to own their thinking and enables her to adjust questions and modeling to fit the level of rigor needed.